Hey there, folks. Welcome to game day 355 of my Euro solo board gaming, considered by many to be ill-advised and stupid. We are playing a game called Hard City. This is coming off my Shelf of Shame, and my goal is to hopefully clear out my Shelf of Shame before the end of the year. That is a little incongruous with my goal of getting as many of these videos done today as possible. This is a game that has been on my shelf for a long time, mostly because this takes up a huge amount of space. As you can tell, I've got the camera all the way back out. It just feels like a gargantuan game. And then you are playing 4 different characters, and it's one of those things. Zombicide was nice. I like the fact that in Zombicide, even though I'm playing 6 characters, I don't necessarily feel like there's 6 distinct characters and I necessarily have to worry about how I'm ordering them. I can order them however I want. In this game, however, you are playing the characters in a specific order, not the order necessarily shown here. But, I mean, if whoever starts first will always start first, and so on. Unless somebody does. But essentially, you are cops going up against Doc Zero, who is overrunning Hard City with mutants, and we are playing the first scenario in this mayhem on the streets. The way that the game works is that each round we will be drawing an event scene and then a cut scene, doing some special stuff there. And then our goal is to kill mutants and then rescue civilians. Should we manage to get 7 VP points before Dr. Zero can get 7 VP points, we will win. But if all the officers are defeated and we lose, or they gain 7 VP points, we lose. We gain a VP point for every civilian rescued as well as every 10 mutants killed. So obviously we want to kill mutants as many as possible to try to succeed. Our turns are determined by the number of donuts that we have. And there's an auto doc card thing here. It's complicated. You'll see what I mean. But we're going to start off with the opening cutscene. The cutscene here, I'm going to put the cutscenes down here. I think I've got some room that I can dedicate towards that. Place the police car on any space at the edge of the board and move it up by 6 spaces in a straight line. It cannot move through barrels, obstacles, or civilians. It cannot stop on any space containing a token. All mutants on the spaces it is moved through or stopped on are killed. Afterwards, place the officers on any space directly by the police car sides. So we're going to come in with the police car. That's this thing right here. And it's going to come in. There are a couple different spots where we could probably go, but I think I want to go here and just take out these 2 mutants. Pull up there. We already have 2 mutants who are dead on the board. Woohoo! And then we're going to place all our characters next to here. We're going to go ahead and place the officer next to the civilian, Marcellus, and then Donovan will have go up here. Jenny will have go up here, and then, Miranda. And then Jenny can be over here. All right, so we're going to start with Miranda. Miranda's a sharpshooter. She can shoot through civilians, through objects. It doesn't matter. She doesn't have to worry about other people being in the same square. She is just basically going to sit there and take pot shots at the mutants that you see on the board. So she's got line of sight for these 3. So she'll start with those 3. To do a pot shot, she has to roll 2 dice. She gets 1, so she stuns this one. She will go again and go for that same. Let's go for that one up there. This one she does a little bit better on. She gets 3 bullets total. It's only 2 to take out the mutant, so that's a 3rd mutant down. She's going to do another one to take out that, and is successful. She has one more move. She can make a move. She's going to move up here. You can move diagonally, by the way. She's going to move into this spot and then take out that mutant there. She only gets 1 bullet. She gets an exclamation point as well. When you get an exclamation point, you can use a donut to convert that to a success. However, since this is her last shot, she is not able to do that. So that mutant is stunned, but not out. So now we do the auto dock, and the auto dock is probably the most confusing thing in here. Essentially, when you're playing this game, you can either play 1 versus many, or you can play solo or cooperative. In the 1 versus many, one player is taking the role of Dr. Zero, and we'll draw 4 cards, and then basically you're playing the 4 cops, and you'll alternate cop, dock 0, cop, dock 0. Ugh, dock 0. Here, you're going to be alternating this auto dock deck, and the thing that is a little confusing is about whether or not how things go onto the queue. All right, so the way I'm reading that is right. If it's not correct, then they have horribly misexplained things in the video. But we're going to start here. What the hell is this? All stunned mutants become active again. Add this card to the queue. Each officer places 1 donut on this card. All right. So each of these zombies pops back up. We're going to place this into the queue. We'll do the queue right here, I think. And each officer loses a donut to the queue. And this is the thing that makes is confusing. So now we resolve the bottoms of the cards in the queue. And so this is, we're resolving this card, so we're going to give a donut back to Jenny. And now Jenny is going to get a card for the next round. It does not say the officer in question, so I have to wonder if that's part of the problem. But it does say any one officer. So any one officer, I'm just going to choose whoever's next. I'm not going to muck around with that. All right, so Jenny is up next. She can open this crate for free, so she will do that. And she gets donuts and coffee. Restore 1 health and 3 donuts. Well, that'll be handy when it comes time to start shooting. So she's going to move. She's going to take a shot first at the zombie up there. She stuns it, and unfortunately doesn't really do much else. So she's going to move now. She's going to move 1, 2. You can move diagonally here, not a problem. She's going to take another shot. Stuns the zombie. Let's go ahead and just mark it. We did get the bullet points, so we'll go ahead and mark that as killed. And her last move, she will move to the civilian over here to get ready to evacuate them. All right, so now we do the auto dock stuff. God, they're fast. Activate all mutants on spaces adjacent to the board edge. They can move up to 4 spaces. Add this card to the queue. Draw another card. So the priority is closest. So activate means that they go from stun to active. And then this one will activate as well. So they'll move up to 4 spaces. So they'll move 1, 2. They will not attack and move. So it's a move. I'm just going to double check that just to make sure. This game's confusing. Activate. Stun mutant becomes active again, ending its activation. Mutant attacks the priority target on its space if able, then ends its activation. Mutant attacks any other target on its space if able, then ends its activation. A mutant moves towards the priority target along the shortest possible path until it enters the target space or cannot move further, then ends its activation. Now the thing is, there's no reason why the 4 spaces thing would be relevant if they could just move indefinitely. According to the first part of the rules, they can move up to 2 spaces, so I've been making that as the rule. But that is something that should be clear. It does seem contradictory with this. That having been said, we are going to have to draw another card. So we're going to add this to the queue and then draw 1 more card. Special. Read the episode special effect, card effect, and treat it as if it were printed on this card. And then that's it. We also do not add this card to the queue. However, we do treat this one as if they were the special. Move the helicopter token to a corner space in the spawn zone as far away from all the officers as possible. So I think actually where it is fine. I could probably move it over to here. Flip it to on its way, which it already is. Oh, now it is. Add this card to the queue if able and draw another card. All right, so this will then get added to the queue. We draw another card. Activate one mutant on a space with an officer. The mutant deals an extra damage. Add this card to the queue. Priority closes. So Jenny, unfortunately, is going to take 2 damage, which is not great because she only starts at 4. But then this goes into the queue, and then we finally do the bottom half. So we have one zombie at least 2 spots away from the active officer, and will move or attack, and the priority will be closest. So this zombie will move diagonally towards this character, and then this gets discarded. All zombies that are more than 2 spaces away, and unfortunately there are none now. God, they're fast. We are going to spawn 4 times. So 4 of these zombies are going to appear. We're going to put them all over here. Try to present a front. And then we get down to this last one. Donathan's going to get his donut back. All right, well, that was fun. All right, Donathan is up. Basically, he's just going to shoot the crap out of everyone he can. I feel like he's got line of sight for all of those. In fact, I probably should have spawned this one over here. He's just going to take pot shots at all of them. So first one up is stunned. Second one along is nothing. We'll go for the second one again. That one gets taken out. Third one along there is stunned. And I will go for the first one again. All right, taken out. And I probably should have counted out the donuts with that, but I didn't really feel a need to. We're now on 7. Read the episode special of card effect and treat it as if it were printed on this card. It's already farthest away as possible. We're going to add this to the queue. And then draw another card. All stun mutants become active again. Add this card to the queue. And then that's it. All right. So 3 monsters will spawn and then move or attack. And let's go ahead and we'll add them down here. Let's add one here. My concern is that this is going to put a lot of stuff. I don't think there's a way to do this that will keep them from overflowing one of the officers, which is my concern. You know, we'll go here, here, and here. Spread them out a little bit. All right, then we're going to add this. So if it's a single letter, it becomes part of foobar, and once foobar is activated, this lovely thing will come out and join the board. We're then going to give a donut back to Donovan. Oh, and all these zombies move. I forgot that part. So they're all going to move 2 spaces. So 1, 2, 1, 2. There's a bunch now with her on there. 1, 2. All right, so that's not good. And I can't really shoot into that spot. So I think my first action is to try to knock out that guy that I'm on the spot with, and that does knock him out. I'm going to then move out of that space and into this space as a second movement. As a third, I'm going to try to knock out that monster. I fail. I'm going to try again. And I guess I'll turn that into a... God damn it. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. It's knocked out. All right. That did not go well. All right, it's the special again. So once again, we don't have to worry about that. But we do add that to the queue and then add one more card. Activate one mutant. If the mutant does not attack, add this card to the queue. If the mutant attacks, discard this card. We'll go ahead and activate this mutant, which will do 1 damage to Miranda. And that way we don't have to add this to the queue. It can just go in the discard. All right, so we're going to get 4 more zombies spawning. We'll spawn them all over here. And then Donut goes back to Miranda. And then these both get discarded as well. It's a new round, so we're going to draw an event card. We have 2 care packages that have been dropped off. The first is going to be here. Second is going to be here. We have 2 new civilians who are out, have just been discovered. One's here, the other's here. That's no bueno. That's going to get discarded. We have to remember to shuffle this each time. We're going to flip the ladder to ladder side. And then we're going to draw a cutscene. And so for the cutscene, we're drawing interference. You can start this cutscene on Dr. Zero's turn if an officer is on a space directly by the police car and Dr. Zero applies the effect of his special card. Ignore this effect. So this would actually apply. So we have a cutscene in place now because Donovan's over here. If we get a special anytime during this round, we can deactivate it unless he moves. All right, so... let's see. Let's go ahead and get started. So she's going to go first. She's going to move out of this spot using 1 of her donuts. And she's going to lose 1 health as a result. She's then going to call the helicopter and have the helicopter come here. Because it does not matter where you are. You can just... It is, however, going to be now on its way side. That is so frustrating. You know what? We're going to leave it over there. We're not going to do that. We're just going to shoot. We're going to do our second action as a shoot. We're going to shoot one of those guys. Unbelievable. All right, we're going to do a second action. Our third action. And we'll use a bullet to take out one of those, and we're left with 1 more action. Stunned one of them. Awesome. Great. All right, so they're done. Read the episode special effect and treat it as if it were printed on this card. Ignore the effect. We have started the cutscene. I don't know if we can do the cutscene more than once, but that at least killed that. Jenny is up. So she is going to be able to take one of these 2. She could take one of the 2. Okay, so she could take one of the 2 civilians, but since Marcellus actually can do that on his own, she's going to go ahead and take the 1 damage to leave a space with a mutant on it. Actually, I think because they're stunned, I don't take the damage. I don't know because it feels like I should, but there's all sorts of stuff. We're going to do 2 movements. One is 1, then we pick up a civilian, and 2. Then we spend 2 donuts, and we get the civilian out of here. That is going to give us 1 VP point. And then she's going to shoot that zombie. And she's going to stun it, but that's about it. And I've managed to knock all these things out of the way. I don't remember where they were. All right, she's going to draw a card. This can't be good. Activate 1 mutant on an adjacent space. Add this card to the queue, and then draw another card. So that does activate. Activate one mutant within 2 spaces twice. Add this card to the queue. Priority active officer. They're crazy for blood. All right, so this is pretty much going to attack her and do 1 damage. That is pretty much going to do... Oh, wait, I forgot. I can restore... Shoot, I should have done this. I should have used this earlier, and I'm going to go ahead and MacGuffin. Put me back up there. They're stunned before I do all that. So I got 3 more actions here that I can take. Miss. That's awesome. Stun. Hey, killed one. All right, now we do that. Activate the mutant. Activate the mutant. This will now move twice towards her, but it won't attack because they don't move and attack on the same turn. All right. Then add this card to the queue, but then they're done. They're all on the move. All greater than 2 spaces away will either move or attack. All right. So the ones that are stunned, I don't think do anything. These are, and it's more than 2 spaces away, despite the fact that it says 2+, which drives me nuts. Their priority will be closest. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and I think that's it. Everybody else is too close. Then 3, they're getting hungry. Again, it has to be 3 that are farther away. So we're going to activate these 3, and they're going to move in for the kill. But again, they're not close enough to actually get the kill. So Donovan's up. Donovan's in a bad situation. It's a good lord. Donovan, I guess, will just start shooting. 1, 2, 3. Each of the stun ones only need 1 bullet for damage. That gives us 10. We're going to reset this. We're at 2, and everybody's going to get an extra and a skill. So let's shape this up. Authority. Once per turn, you can spend 1 donut to make another officer perform an action that costs 1 donut. All right. Marcellus, their ability. Shotgun. When performing the shooting attack, you roll 3 dice. That's going to be fun. Jenny. Steady hands. Once per turn, you can spend a donut to perform a shooting attack targeting a space with other officers and or civilians. Very similar to Miranda Casey's attack, which is sharpshooter. Sniper. You can reroll 1 die during shooting attacks. All right, so we're going to go ahead and use his ability to, once per turn, you can spend a donut to make another officer perform an action that costs 1 donut. She's going to use this ability. She's got line of sight over here, so she's going to take out that dude. So let's roll the 2 dice. And they're both, she's going to use 2 donuts. Well, she can't use 2 donuts, but she can re-roll 1 of them, at least. There we go. Takes out that dude from that far away. Mostly I just wanted Jenny to be somewhat safer over there and not have the monster. So he's got 3 more actions. He'll go for those 3 dudes. Okay, that takes out 1. 2. And then 1 to get out. So that's going to cause him 1 damage, but he's going to move backwards 1. All right, and now we do our Zero Dock thing. I'm out. The active officer gets an out of ammo marker. Can't perform shooting attacks or aimed attacks until the end of the next turn. Add this card to the queue, and then 3. Spawn and then move. Their priority will be the closest. So we're going to get a bunch of spawns up here. They're going to move this way into this spot. And then that's it. So that was actually a relatively calmer one. I don't know when they unstun. Like I really don't. I think they get activated at some point. But for now, since he's got the ability to take 2 civilians at once, uh, first I'm going to perform a shooting attack on that dude with a shotgun. All right, so it's a stun unless I want to spend an extra donut, and I kind of don't want to spend an extra donut, but I kind of do. You know what? I will take that one off the board, and then I'll take these 2 civilians with me 2 spaces, and then I'll take them 2. Oh, that's not going to give me enough. So yeah, I have to keep that one on the board like that because I need 2 donuts at the end of this. Activate and yeah, because that will remove one of the 2 civilians. It won't remove the other one. So now 1 civilian is off the board. That's going to give us another VP point. And we're on a space with the helicopter and the ladder. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten that freaking helicopter thing again. But that is all of his abilities. All right, so we're going to do one more. I don't remember. I honestly don't. Add this card to the queue and then draw another card. They're up to something. Activate 1 mutant within 1 space of yours. Set this card aside. Draw another card. So that's actually not in the... That goes over there. Activate 1 mutant within 2 spaces twice. Add this card to the queue. All right, so they're going to attack twice. Marcellus is going to take both damage. And then they're on the move. Everybody within 2 spaces will move or attack. That is not looking good for Jenny. Jenny, I think, is going to die because of this. So basically, all of these guys just swarm her. She's out. And then these all move here. Like that. We rule that that was before. Oh my god, that was nasty. Target angry, target angry. One of them will move then attack or attack then attack. So we're going to have them attack and attack. That is probably the deadliest I've ever seen any of these. I'm not even sure what to do about the officer being out. I think she can be revived at some point. I think she's like down. But I'm not sure about reviving an officer. So let's take a quick look at that. Eliminating officers. Okay, so that's interesting. Their VP goes up by 1. They did eliminate an officer. But essentially she is now... Yeah, alright. So that's good for me. She's inactive, but she will come back to full strength at the beginning of the next turn in the middle of a shitstorm, as you can see. Alright, so now we're at the end of the round. We draw an event. And we're going to get 2 new civilians. And we're going to get 1 drop. And then we draw a cutscene. I got your back. You can start this cutscene at the start of an officer's turn if the active officer is on another space with another officer. Both of them can perform a shooting attack without paying donuts. All right. We will have to remember that cutscene. All right, so she's going to come back full strength. She is in a shitload of hurt. She is going to... So we have a cat visitor. Jack is here. Jack is feeling a little unloved at the moment. But Daddy's got to try to complete this. Yeah, I know. You got a lot of stuff in your eyes. All right. You want to help me figure out what I'm doing? Yeah, I think Jenny's first move is to move out of here to this spot. She's going to escort a civilian back here for a second action. And then for her third action, she's taking out that barrel. Now, in the first scenario, there's explosive barrels that you can get. This is Jack, by the way. That's about as much as you're going to be able to see of him. She can take out a barrel. So let's go ahead and roll this. 2 damage. That's enough to take out the barrel. That will basically knock out everybody. All right. So that was third action. As her fourth and fifth action, she can get that civilian closer, but I think instead she's going to go for that mutant that's there on the spot. Takes him out. Oh, and explosive barrels. Yeah, okay, so, and then she's going to go for the other explosive barrel. I'll remove that mutant in a moment. And the reason that she's going to do that... So I really should have redone this. So instead of taking out that one, what I should have done is shot that barrel down there. Because the barrel will do 1 damage to everyone around it, so that's why they're all stunned. But if I shoot that other barrel, and I'm gonna just go ahead and say that I did that. And then have this apply to the mutant up there. That will take out all those mutants. Basically, we'll kill 7 mutants with that. But that's as soon as I finish hugging the cat here, who desperately needs some attention. Do you want to get on my shoulder while I clean up the mess? Daddy's doing what's called MacGuffins. She does have the sniper ability, so at least she can do that. So that'll stun the monster at least. So this barrel is also taken out. And all 7 of these guys go away. In addition, we're going to gain 7 kills. Yeah, I know. So that is going to give us 1 more VP point and 1 more skill for everyone. So Marcus's is going to be Brawler. You can spend 2 donuts to stun up to 2 mutants in a space. Magnum, your shooting attack deals at least... if it deals 1 damage, it deals at 2 damage. Ninja, you can leave a space with mutants without taking damage. You can't escort a civilian during this movement. And then Burst Fire, once per turn, you can spend 3 donuts to deal 4 damage to mutants on a space without civilians or monsters. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Yeah. All right. I'm going to let you go. And hop down there. All right. Out for blood. Activate 1 mutant. If this mutant does not attack, add this card to the queue. So we're going to have to add the card to the queue. And that's it. So they're going to gain 1 VP for that. And now we are on to a much calmer scenario. Holy cow. So Jenny's up next. So I think even with the mutant there, we can just go ahead and have her take out that other mutant. Or take out the civilian. So the civilian's escorted out to safety. So that puts us at 5. And I think at this point we want to get the helicopter over here, so she's going to use one more. She's done what? Two for the helicopter to rescue. Another one to get the helicopter moved. We'll move it over here. And hopefully we'll stay like that. She's then going to use her ninja ability to get out of this space and open this up and then move one more space. So she gets what's ever in the package, which is going to be heavy metal tape. Civilian offers within one space. From yours, deal damage to... That's kind of funny. And then for her last one, she's going to try to shoot that guy. And hopefully take him out. Yeah, unfortunately fails. So now we draw some cards. Roar, activate one mutant within one space of yours. Set this card aside, draw another card. There is no mutant within one space. And then this is going to get set aside for the U up here. The active officer gets an out of ammo marker. And can't perform shooting attacks or aim shots until the end of his or her next turn. Add this card to the queue. And then that's it. So 3 monsters will now spawn on the outskirts of the city. And then move. We're gonna do them over here. They're gonna move, each move towards the closest. So technically this one is closest to her. And then these two will move over here. So, and unfortunately I don't have a way to attack any of these guys because I'm out of donut, because I'm out of bullets. So I'm not sure the best way I have to proceed. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one donut to pull this civilian over to here. Then I'm going to use another bullet to get over to this, start picking up stuff up from the ground. Since we got a lot of it. Megaphone, move up to a chosen civilian or officer up to 2 spaces. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll use the megaphone to move Jenny. What's up? He's going to bring the civilian with her. He's then going to use one donut to get her to attack this character. And she's going to re-roll this because she's a sniper, and she takes out that. That was clever. He's then got 2 movements left, so he'll go here, pick this up. VHSA, move the clapper back 1 space back. You cannot start cutscenes until the end of the round. I don't understand what that does. There is a whole thing with the clapper here that you're supposed to be able to do, and it's just, I don't get it. But I forgot about that. I forgot that there's a cutscene in here. I think as my last attack, I'm going to go ahead and pick up this last item. Maybe it'll be useful. Stars and Stripes. You and all officers not yet activated this round gain 1 additional donut until the end of the round. All right, so I've got an extra donut. I will go ahead and move here. I want to keep these closest to me as opposed to the civilians. All right. So let's activate some auto docks. Activate up to 2 mutants. For each mutant you don't decide to activate, lose 1 donut for the next turn. Add this to card to the queue. So we're going to add... Let's activate 1, 2. And then this goes to the queue. That's the only thing in the queue, so this simply becomes part of that. All right. Our good guy here, the Brawler, he's going to go down. I think he was at 3. I'm not sure what happened there. But he's going to spend 1 donut to move to here. Actually, he's going to move to here. He's now in the same space as another, so we can do the cutscene. They both do a shooting attack without paying donuts. She's going to go for the one on Donovan's space. And unfortunately, if it misses, he's going to go for this one. And misses. Oh, that's awesome. Good. Oh, he gets to roll a 3rd dice. There we go. All right. He's going to use 2 more donuts to attack these 2. Don't forget you can roll 3. Takes out that one. And takes out that one. Suddenly we're looking really good. He's got 2 more moves. He can't do anything about the mutant that's in this spot. He can, however, use the 2 remaining donuts to get this civilian over to here. All right, let's draw an auto dock card. They've got my number. Activate up to 2 mutants for each mutant you don't decide to activate. And then, so essentially Donovan's going to take some damage. He is going to lose the out of ammo bullet, fortunately. So this goes into the queue, and then Dr. VP gets 1 VP. Which is not great. I don't want him to keep getting VP. We're going to do a new event card. The new event card puts special packages here and here, and then puts a civilian all the way over here. We're then going to draw a cinematic scene. The last ride. You can start this cutscene on an officer's turn if the active officer is on a space directly by the police car. The officer can spend 3 donuts and move the car up to 5 spaces. It can corner, but it can't move diagonally. All mutants on the spaces it has moved through are killed. It can't move through the spaces with officers, civilians, barrels, or obstacles. It can't stop on any space containing tokens. Then place the active officer on a police space next to the... So this is basically, he could be right next to that car. In addition, this is now lightning. This is now side up. So obviously our priority is just simply get as many... We need to get 2 more civilians to safety. She can move 1, 2, 1, 2, and then send a civilian up. She doesn't have enough to do 1 more round, but she can use her last item to shoot this. Reroll 1, and it's not going to help. All right. So her auto dock, they're here. Spawn 2 mutants in the closest spawn zone. Activate all mutants within 1 space of yours. Set this card aside. So we're going to spawn 2 mutants. Closest spawn zone is here and here. So we'll do them separately. And then we set this card aside. We do not have Fubar yet. We have Uar. There are, I believe, 2 per... There are 2 cards per letter, so that's why. All right, Jenny's up. She can move once, twice, 3 times later, and then get this civilian up and away. And that's it. That is the game. So that is, good Lord, 45 minutes. 45 minutes and probably a whole ton of mistakes there in terms of rules. I will say this could be a lot clearer. I don't believe that English was the... And I don't say this as an insult. I mean, I say this as a matter of fact. English is not the first language of the designers of this. So there are probably a lot of nuances that are missed as part of this. There are a total of 5 scenarios throughout this game. So there's a lot to play here. I'm not sure about replayability. And I'm not sure how this is in 1 versus many mode. But this is... It's interesting. I don't know if I like it. It's so much space, and I don't understand the clap. I think I misunderstood the whole cutscene thing. And because that is an important part of this, I mean, it's meant to be such a huge part of the game, is that you're not really these people fighting mutants. You are in an action movie, and this is just simply how the action movie worked out. Um, so what I'm thinking is that like maybe what it is that you have this, and then you can activate the cutscene, right? And then that moves it up by one. Then that moves, but I don't understand. Like I don't get it. I probably just need to read the rule book a little bit more closely. But there's already a lot going on with this game that's just not overly clear. And I'm not too sure about whether or not I was moving the mutants right. Like when it does say, activate the the mutant and have them move. Technically, according to one interpretation, it should move until it actually gets to an officer. So if it's here, it will go to this officer and then attack on the next turn. Which feels to me like that's actually probably more like that's actually deadly. Um, but yeah. We got lucky, I think, with the Q and not activating Fubar. I do love the Fubar Mini. The Fubar Mini is kind of neat. There's also a mutated rat and a mutated soldier that are part of this. So there's a lot of interesting stuff with this. Again, I wish I understood the rules better. I feel like I'm letting the game down by not understanding the rules better. But folks, thank you so much for joining. This has now come off my shelf of shame. We have another game coming off there tomorrow, and I'll see you then.